Enthusiasm with multi-tonal voice.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. That strangely suits you.
Yeah, you look like you could be a Soviet Marxist.
Yeah.
That is how I feel most days.
Living in London now.
Yeah, it just creeps in.
Jeez. Well, how's everyone doing this evening?
Good.
Are we live?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I got that.
Oh my god, that was so sneaky, wasn't it?
Oh.
I get that from my good friend Sneaky Lee. Shout out.
Sounds terrifying. Who's Sneaky Lee?
Sneaky Lee.
Wonderful. So, Jared Brand, JB,
It's me.
here you are, in the flesh.
I know. I just want to say I'm so honoured to be here. This is a moment of a lifetime. Huge fan of the podcast. I think I was your first subscriber on YouTube.
Oh,
This is the pinnacle for me. From here,
Yeah.
lifetime, it's downhill.
now we've really blown up. It's
I
quite
mean,
big.
190 views on one of the videos.
Big
I'm
league now.
hoping to blow that out of the water. And just chuffed to be here, really.
That's good. I'll give you one note as a podcast beginner. Just be a bit closer to the mic.
Mic check.
That's good.
Okay. So, Jared,
Yes.
what's it like being 6'6"?
Yes, massive.
Is your penis proportionate?
No, my penis is tiny.
Is it? How big is your penis?
An inch at best. I mean, it's
That's half
maybe
a cider.
Maybe you could get it out for us this evening.
no, I will. I was planning on that. That was actually how I wanted to start.
Absolutely. It is a bit chilly though, isn't it? You can put the Russian hat back on.
Yeah, no.
God, show everyone what you look like in the Russian hat. It's literally got a hammer and sickle on the front.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel quite right. But
It oddly suits you.
It does suit you.
I don't know what it.
I do like the weight on my cheeks because I had been growing a beard for the last month or two.
Have you?
Yeah. Well, no. Wait. I said I had, and that's because I knew I was coming on here today, so I shaved. Because that thing blows me out the water.
Oh, but this is just pure laziness.
No, but look at it.
But it grows so fine. It's like you've been manicuring it.
Literally.
I just rub the lotions into every pore.
Do you?
No.
Do you? have you
It's
ever,
as the least maintenance.
have you ever put conditioner on your beard?
No. I have put in the past, when I used to live in London, I used to go to, I think it's called Murdoch. There's like a grooming, like Ted, or Ted's Grooming, or whatever it's called. And they used to sell those like conditioners and stuff. And I was in the store once, and you know the salespeople were like, "Oh, this kind of pressure you. Like, try this, it'll be really great. Oh, that'll so suit you." Anyway, I got pressured to buying this thing, and I used it never bought again. But it was really nice. It was nice, but it's just crazy expensive.
But yeah, so being 6'6" is it's just normal. My penis is a normal size. Is it, down to my knees? No.
Is it?
Would that be handy? Yes. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
AK strikes again. Well, how are you finding the tubes in London? Because like I'm
Horrible.
like 6'3", and I find it like you're always like ducking your head or like
No,
Yes.
well, at Clapham
those things
Common,
that come. Yeah, that's where I lived.
is it?
Yeah.
There's that mind your head bit. Yeah. That I took my eyebrows off of that the first day.
Rustic country
You
pubs.
just got a lovely spider that just
Ooh.
dangled on.
Hello.
Hello,
You're
friend.
you're attracting the wildlife. Yeah, rustic country pubs are really your nemesis, aren't they?
They're not good. That often leads to me standing like this all night, which not good for the neck. But the tubes are alright because my hours that I go to work are pretty off
Non-peak time.
peak.
Oh, that's good.
So I tend to avoid other humans. But when I'm at shithouse o'clock like 5 p.m, count me out.
It's rough.
There's been times where I've just said I'd rather go and sit in a pub than go home because I can't get on. You know how people stand and it's full, but in London you just go, I'll get on that.
Yeah, my pet peeve.
do it.
I get so pissed off because it's like, and you build that like when you first moved to London. I don't know if it's you. When I first moved to London, I used to be like, you don't want to cause a fuss Like if the train is packed and you see like a massive amount of space along that along the aisle, you're like, oh okay, you don't go on. But now I'm like, can everyone just fucking move to that bit there? It's like there's so much space. I just have no patience for that shit.
Deconditioned.
Yeah, you just become like savagely rude.
It's like that driving in London though. You all of a sudden just have to completely change your driving style, don't you? Otherwise, you have to become like a bit of an arsehole, because otherwise you just won't get out. You just have to just go, okay, I'm going out here.
Yeah, you just got to drive like you don't care about your car, and that's like, I'd never want a nice car in London.
Oh,
you get some mugs.
There's so many people as well cruising around in Porsches and stuff, and I just think, how do you survive? You must think that on everything, because people are just idiots.
Yeah, there's pretty savage driving.
It is. How long did you live in Clapham Common for?
I lived there for a year. I was in Old Street for 2 years. It was like while I was studying in London.
Yeah.
So I moved down there. It was lovely. It was actually like because I was in the States at the time, and I had like friends of mine were doing a house share, and they showed me this place, and I thought, Clapham Common, it's middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I was like, living in Old Street, like right in the centre. So going to somewhere that isn't Zone 1 was a bit of a transition. I thought it was.
I need that though. I couldn't live in Zone 1. I couldn't. I need that greenery. I need to go and kick a ball.
Still busy though, isn't it?
It is still busy.
Yeah.
It is still busy. But when I go into Zone 1, I'm like,
pine for the fjords.
Yes, go.
What? Pine for the fjords.
I was just being an idiot.
We need to call these like Kirk moments.
Yeah.
I think the AK moments, aren't they?
Yeah.
You need to coin a term.
I don't know why. You just brought that back.
So what was that?
What
was that?
Pining for the fjords.
Yeah. Pining for the fjords.
Well, I think it's. I don't know where the.
Don't say it and not know where it came from.
Where are the fjords? The fjords are sort of a Scandinavian large lake, so it's people from that area of the world leaving home and pining for their homeland.
And you thought that had a place in this podcast? You're a real piece of work.
He watches one Joe Rogan podcast.
Comes on here with his fjords. Get out of town.
When has Joe Rogan ever mentioned fjords?
You know when.
Some guest he had, I don't know.
In my head, it was amusing. Partly amusing because it wasn't amusing to anyone else.
And that's what always has worked so well for you in the past. And I know you're already lining up another horrible question to ask me, aren't you? How's being 6'6" is your penis? Go on, what's up next?
So how's been your London experience coming from living in a very rural place?
It's been alright. I mean, I'm right next to the Common, so it's like 10 strides out the door. So I walk past that every day, and it's, as you know, that big open space, so that's alright. But obviously the size of my dwelling has reduced a touch, so I can't...
Yeah, how big's your room? Because my room was half the size of my room now. And I was paying like maybe $1,300.
My room's probably like the size of the decking here.
That's a luxury in London.
It's not bad, and it goes out into a garden as well, so that's not bad.
Nice.
But also it's kind of, I don't know. I need to, because my wingspan's quite large too, unlike my penis.
What, the penis bit? Or
So it's stretching out. Sometimes you feel like you can't properly draw your shoulders back. Shut up, Kirk.
Okay, so.
What? Oh no! Have you got another question?
No, I was just making you worried. But what I would like to delve into, is that, don't look so worried. You are someone who likes, just likes to be, left alone, nice and easy, easy life.
I know, I'm terrified.
But just strange things just happen to you, sort of against your will, wherever you go.
They do,
without seemingly any. You don't sort of ask for them or chase them.
How much rope's involved in this?
0.
Oh.
That would make more sense than the things that happen to me. The things that happen to me are always in public.
Right.
Because I spend a lot of time on the tubes, walking around the streets of London, doing property inspections. And I see the best and mostly the worst of London. Like some guy tried to mug me the other day, which was lovely. He just...
Literally most days, like, Jared will come back from anywhere and I'll go, Give us an update.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah, rewind back. So what was that mugging? So some geezer came up to you.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Well, I was sitting. I was about to go and do some property inspections, and I'm sitting eating some food, and I've got my headphones in to my personal phone, and I've also got my work phone with me, which is an iPhone 5 smash screen, it's buggered. And this guy comes up to me, and I'm an easygoing guy, and I was like, "You alright, mate?" And he was just like, "Yeah, give me your phone." And I was like, "Why?" And it didn't really register, and he was like, "Well, I've got a knife." I was like, "Oh, right, okay." Right, so I just went, "Do you want this one? I mean, it's probably not worth anything."
I've got this really nice one over here.
Well, he wasn't smart enough to pick that up, so my headphones are obviously plugged into my left pocket. I've gone right pocket, picked out my work phone, and just said, "I mean, you won't be able to sell it. It's fucked."
Yeah, it'll cost you more to repair this.
Exactly, and that's what I said to him, and he went, "Oh, I thought you wearing that suit, you'd have something a bit nicer," and walked off.
Oh.
Thanks.
So you kind of got mugged off while being mugged.
Absolutely, and I just back in the pocket.
No, I thought it was a compliment, wasn't it? You look rich because you got a nice suit.
Yeah, I guess
You got a nice compliment.
I mean, you have your normal phone is
I'll
nice.
take that.
Yeah, but I can't believe he didn't think, what are his headphones plugged into?
I'd question that. I'd be like, well, show me your knife.
Yeah,
Because where were you when that happened?
I was in Westminster.
Was it in the middle of nowhere?
It was next to a busy street, but I was down one of the side streets, sitting on a a pole, just eating a pasta.
You were sitting on a pole.
I would just go with the classic, just shout rape, and just. I feel like
I would go with the classic shout rape
as well.
Just imagine just shouting rape in that.
But imagine, because Jared's 6'6".
You should have showed in your wingspan.
I thought you were going to say something else.
your wingle.
Yeah, it's like when a bear attacks you. You got to show how big you are.
That would have been amazing.
Imagine his reaction as
If
me
you
just flapping.
It would have been like, he's crazy. I'm not going near him.
That does work. I saw your brother employ that tactic once at football. He I took it round someone. This is Greg when we used to play five-a-side football. And as I've run past this chap, he's taken a right booting at the back of my leg, tried to trip me up. And I've thought nothing of it. I play on. And I turn around and there's two people squaring up. And your brother had just come from a what did you used to do? CrossFit class, and he was pumped. He was feeling so damn good. And he got there to this guy and just went. Tense and I was like, oh my god.
Sparta.
I ran over, I was like, Greg, stop. And he went, and the veins were just popping out of his neck, and the guy just sent him off, and he was just over on the side just grabbing the thing, but it fucking worked. The guy was like, shit, I don't want it that bad.
Fair enough. Right. So there's two options. Shout or shout rape.
There is someone that I've heard that would drop their pants.
See, that's very... Because you've actually got to do it. It's fine to say that, but imagine actually getting your dick out to some guy with a knife in London. Thoughts?
It would go well if you're well endowed.
I
feel like you would.
Why would that make a difference?
I don't know, because it's
just
in
leave
the
out
public,
respect.
so you got mugged. Well,
Fair enough. Cool.
He'd
You know
size
what?
you up and go, all right.
Yeah,
Be a shame to waste that.
Sorry, mate.
Okay. You should stick around.
You're going to make many women happy. I'll leave you on this earth.
Here's my phone.
Can you take a dick pic and send it to my missus? But yeah, loads of things happen to me.
Tell me
public.
what happens in Ingatstone train station car park.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a good one. I had to. That was where I got the train from most days. And I pulled, and there were construction works going on at the time, and there were no spaces. But I was in my little mini that you've seen.
Oh, yeah.
And I found a space that was just perfect for a mini, so I managed to squeeze in. It's either side of a big black BMW. And I went to work, and I came back. It was 3:30, 4 o'clock, and there's a guy. I'm walking towards my car, and there's a guy with his back rested on the BMW, arms folded. I'm thinking, this isn't good. This is far from good. So I've got my hand on the on the key. I'm about to open it, and I just go, "You alright, mate?" And he said, "Yeah, no, I'm just fucking fuming." Oh, all right. Any particular reason? And he said, "Yeah, whoever's parked this Mini here, I can't get out." I'm thinking, and this is where most people would go, "Oh, that's me. I'm really sorry. I'll move it." This might be why
I think, I
didn't help the situation,
now
but
I think
true brand blag. I said, "Oh yeah, that is awful parking. That's terrible." And he said, "I know." And I said, "I reckon you can get out though." I said, "Oh, go on," as if I was taking time out of my day. I said, "Go on, I'll help you out. I'll see you out."
Jared.
And he said, "No, I'm just going to fucking wait here for them to get back. I'm just going to light them up." He said, I'm done. I've had a shit day. I'm going to give it to him." So I went, "It's a Mini, it's probably some 20-year-old girl. It's going to come back from work. You're going to feel bad. It's a waste of time. Come on, I'll see you out. You're wasting your time." And he went, "Yeah, all right. Cheers, mate. Cheers,
So
mate."
he can get in the car?
He can get in the car, but it's tight. And he has to... So there's like a row of cars, but then there's another row of cars quite close behind, so it's very tight.
Oh, the angle to
Yeah, it's the angle that he's having the problem with. So I'm standing there, I'm going, yeah. And he gets out, he rolls the window down and he says, "Thanks, mate, I really appreciate that." And I said, "No worries, you have a good day." And he said, "What a cunt, eh?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, too right."
I'd be like, "Oh, can you see me out?"
So I sat there, I waited for him to leave the car park, I got in my car and I just burst out laughing for about 15-20 minutes. I'm just pissing myself laughing. I went, right, okay, let's go home. Reversed, drove out, and he's pulled over on the side of the road outside. And I had, there's nowhere to go. There's one way out of this station, and I drove past. He had his window down, and we just made the worst eye contact. No. And I just went, "Sorry, bro," and just drove on. And I saw him in the. He's just like, and I was just like, "Fuck."
That's a beautiful story. That's hilarious.
Yeah, there's definitely a theme developing though.
Well, that I egg it on. I could just end it earlier.
What? What was the other one with your Mini? With those when a colleague offered you a lift.
Which one was that?
They offered you a lift to the station. Oh no, I had a lift in their car. And you said, "That's all right. I've got the train."
I can't even remember.
When the car was making a funny noise. I'm just going to end up telling the whole story.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
You're embarrassed about your car making a funny noise.
Oh, I vaguely remember. What was it?
So he offered you a. He offered you a lift, and you're like, "Oh, it's all right. I got the."
Oh no, that
train.
was it. I had an inspection in London at Millennium Mills, which is a lovely big building that I inspect every 2 weeks. And I drove there, but my car was making the.
The guy where?
There we go. It was making the worst noise. It was proper. As I'm driving, I'm thinking, "God, this is so embarrassing." And the guy I was meeting was, he wasn't like a schmuck. So I parked it round the corner. Well, it wasn't even round the corner. It was on the street just before. And I got there 10 minutes early, parked it up, and then I walked. And I get there, and he goes, "Did you drive it today?" And I don't know why, but I went, "No, mate, I got the train." I don't know why. I don't know why I do these things. And then, anyway, we're having a chat, and we're talking about public transport. I've just built this horrible, pointless lie up. And then I have to leave before him, and he has to do the gate. And I went, and I'm walking around for ages, blah, 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 and I'm time wasting. Little did I know, he was time wasting as well. I don't know why, but then I went and got in my car thinking he's long gone. I'm sitting in my car, and he drove straight past, and I was just like...
Another icon.
And it's just that moment, and he's like...
What are you doing? You just stolen this car.
What was the point? And I'm looking at it and thinking, I don't know. And it's just things like that, and I come home and tell him, and he's like, "Why did you do that then?"
That sounds like a real Seinfeld moment. Have you watched Seinfeld?
No, I've never really
watched that's total that reference is just going to fly by now. Watch it, then you'll thank me.
It's just, yeah. But again, that's totally me. I could have just, said, "Oh, my car's making a bad noise at the moment. Problem solved." No.
Tell us about Gillian at Tomorrowland.
Oh, Gillian.
Oh, Gillian.
Sends a shiver down the spine. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so. I don't. So we were at Tomorrowland, and it was our first night. I think it was a Thursday night.
Was this last year?
No, this was
music festival.
This was our first year, wasn't it? So this was 3 years ago. And
it was second year.
Yeah, the second year. And anyway, we come back and we were so smashed. And everyone back to the campsite. Everyone's brushing their teeth, getting ready for bed. And my tent, it was a 2-man tent, and it was next to my mate Aaron's. So we get in bed and we're just having a chat, playing football quizzes, trying to get off to sleep, blah, blah, blah. And I just hear this French screaming, like, merde, putain, screaming. But it feels like it's right there. I'm going, whoa, and Aaron goes, whoa. So we both burst out of the tent. There's nothing.
I think you... Oh, right, go on, sorry. I felt like you missed a detail, but you're going back in the tent now.
Yeah, no.
Okay, no worries. You got this.
I've thanks. And there's nothing there, so we go, oh, that was weird. So we go back into bed, we're chatting again, and it happens again. And again, it's right, like, it could be Kirk screaming. We both burst out, nothing there. We go, oh, there's some rustling in that tent, maybe it's there. And I'm thinking, it's much closer. I get back in my tent, and my tent has... The pegs aren't doing too well, so it's almost folded in slightly. And I'm lying, well, horizontally in the tent, and there's a big space to my left. And I get out, because it happens again, for a third time, and this I'm done. Aaron says...
The same thing. They're saying the same thing?
Screaming, yeah.
Right.
Screaming for Gillian.
They're calling for Gillian.
Calling for Gillian, and they're not happy with Gillian,
right.
from what I can gather. My
Probably
French
missed.
is a little rusty. Aaron says, Jared, I'm done. Like, I'm going to sleep. You can deal with it. So I walk out, I'm looking around my tent, I'm thinking, he's right, there's someone right here. And then I see my roller sticking out the bottom of my tent. And then I think, I'm sure I unpacked my roller and I'm sleeping on it. You know, it's like a foam, just a...
Foam roller,
foam
like
roll,
for
yeah.
muscle...
No,
stuff.
just to sleep on, like a mat.
Sleeping
Oh,
mat.
right.
Yeah. And so I pull it, and then it wasn't a roller, it was an elbow. And this guy was under my tent. And in fact, so I pull his elbow, he bursts out of the tent and into my face screaming at me in French. And I'm going, whoa, what the fuck, bro? And he's so angry at me. And then Aaron gets out and is brushing his teeth. And I'm going, Aaron, check this guy out. He's here to me, he wants to fight. And Aaron goes, hello, friend, like, how can I help? He's brushing his teeth, and he slaps Aaron's toothbrush down.
Oh.
And Aaron says, you don't knock a man's toothbrush mid-brush. And then he pushed me, and I was ready to go toe-to-toe with this boy. And then a steward comes over, and he's screaming at me, and he's going, Gillian! And he thinks I'm in his tent. I said, bro, that's clearly my tent. I was just sleeping in it like this, and I showed him all my stuff. He wasn't having it. Gillian.
The steward said this, or the Gillian guy.
Gillian guy who thinks it's his tent.
Right.
And I'm going, who the fuck is Gillian? Like, I don't care, just go away. So he calls up Gillian, and Gillian answers, and he says, yeah, I'm in the tent. And this guy goes, see? And I go, well, he's not in the fucking tent, is he? And he goes, yeah, purple camp. Yellow camp.
Jokes.
He was in the wrong tent.
And it was at this point that I come back to the scene. I'm like,
what is that?
I'm like, I just look at Jared's face. I'm like, what's happened?
And the funniest bit about all of it is that whilst I was lying in my tent, he was actually lying under the tent, directly next to me. So when he was screaming, he was actually next to me.
Did you not think, like,
I'm
there's a
smashed.
rather large hump?
No, so
under
when I
there?
said that the pegs weren't working, the top had like fallen down, so it was covering where he was lying.
Oh, I get
Do
it.
you see what I mean? Like the roof had caved in a bit, so I couldn't quite see him, but he was here. I'm lying there, and I'm going, oh, fucking hell, that's loud. He was there.
Hold on, so when you went outside the first time, you didn't see anyone?
I didn't see. It was. I saw that much of his elbow on the
he was
third
under
one.
the
He was
tent.
He had somehow peeled up the pegs, and it was tightly down. I don't know how. To this day, I have no idea how he did
Is
it.
that like drunk strength? Or you just like, I just want to go to sleep. And
But why would you go under a tent? It doesn't make any sense. But
yeah, that's pretty rough.
that was, yeah, it was just one of those. He walked off, and Kirk's just going, what now?
God, I left you alone for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Running an errand.
And yeah.
I like Kirk's disappearance stories though. Like when you just disappear out of nowhere at music festivals.
He does that a
Was the
lot.
one at Love Box? I wasn't there for that. But
Going on mini adventures.
yeah. If you explain that, because I wasn't there for that, but I feel like I've heard it.
Oh, Love Box. Well, that was not by choice, actually, that one. Yeah, we were in the queue, and I desperately needed wee. Everyone else carried on queuing. Went for a wee. Had a nice chat with some people.
That's always your fall down, urine. That got you at Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Went
My
missing,
kryptonite.
went missing for a whole day, and then came back and was really angry at us. What the What do you want? You left.
Yeah, that's true. I love your description though. Like, I think you described it. You said I'm near the front to the left by a Senegalese flag.
By a Senegalese flag.
Because I wanted a Senegalese flag.
I know my flag. So
Should I Google? I was like, I don't think any of these. I think you've just made that up.
Is that like what, Senegal?
Yeah,
I didn't know it was Senegalese. Is that how you pronounce it?
yeah. I only know it from football as well.
isn't it?
I'm not one of those geography guys. Don't worry. But
yeah,
I
Lovebox. Then I rejoined the queue, and I don't know what it was. It was in the middle of London, but I think because there were so many people there, they just completely cut out all the phone signal didn't work, or the Wi-Fi didn't work. So I had zero way of contacting anyone in the group. I didn't know where to meet them. There's thousands of people there.
Yeah.
So I just wandered about for about, I don't know, it was probably about 4 hours.
4 hours.
Just wandering around on my own. Just sort of get a drink and just sort of started to just chat to people. I was like, oh, I'm really not in the mood for this, but I'm gonna have to sort of like integrate my way into a new group. I'm gonna have to.
Beacon. You need flares.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just like start talking to someone and be like, can I be your friend for the day?
like first day at primary school.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can we be best friends?
Yeah.
do you like football?
Yeah. It was like survival.
Did you manage it?
Yeah, and I'd just about sort of given up hope. I was like, oh, right, okay, let's do this. Woo! And then I saw Gabby just walk past.
Oh,
I was like, yes!
party pooper. You were just about
I know.
to make new friends.
Yeah, I know.
You need
It could have been a
some
magical
sort of
story.
Like I'm
a
here.
phone.
Just you shouting, "I'm here," but like as a siren, like a
Like a phone.
yeah, megaphone,
Or a mobile phone.
Walkie-talkies would have been.
They're usually quite handy. Just doesn't.
or a Senegal. Was it Senegalese flag?
Senegalese flag. From
Get
now
one of
on,
those.
I'm going to buy you one.
cannot bloody wait.
Speaking of flags, you're wearing a Barcelona
I am.
scarf. You're going to Barcelona tomorrow.
I'm going to Barcelona to watch Tottenham play. We need to win to stay in the Champions League. We're not going to.
The Tottenham playing at Barcelona.
Yeah.
What's the odds?
Well, we played them at Wembley and they beat us 4-1. And it could have been 8, 9. So it's not good. They've got Lionel Messi.
Spirits are high there.
I mean, it's one of those places. The new camp is just. I've been there before, and it's just it's like the Mecca. So
I know nothing about football, so
They call it.
I know.
They call it a camp. Yeah, so you're really in my wheelhouse now.
the stadium. Are they called stadiums camps now?
that's just the name of it. The new camp. I don't know why it's called. I don't know what that means. If it means something in Spanish, I don't know.
Oh, maybe translation thing.
I have no idea, but
I have no idea.
it's beautiful. I can't wait.
So yeah, I mean, I'd like to hear more of your more awkward moment stories. I mean, there are so many on there. There's one I really like. It's very inappropriate. I don't think it'll work here.
Oh, but you've already said it. How inappropriate is this?
I don't know.
yeah, that's we should get a whiteboard pen.
Can I say this?
yeah, this one. No,
Absolutely not.
Is that against the Geneva Convention?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I'm writing this. It's absolutely not.
I do want to see this. I do want to hear.
Well, you know it's not all right.
What have you done? You've done something.
It probably wasn't me though.
I do want to hear.
It was like a really when you were younger.
Younger? How young?
That's when I was at my worst.
It's just, yeah, I don't know. I just want you to tell Edan that in just another time.
Oh, what? When with the window?
Is that appropriate?
No, you can hear that. It's
let's
not
do
that
it.
bad, really.
Yeah.
It was just round the
Let's
corner
go.
from here, actually.
Yeah.
I was at that ex-girlfriend's house that I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
And I was...
You seem so hyped for this.
It's not even that good, it's just me being weird, I think.
I don't think... I'm talking about the dad at the window.
Oh, God. I'd forgotten that bit to it. Oh, yeah.
Like an awkward young... How old were you at the time?
So, I think this is what happened. I can't even remember that now. So,
Once upon a time.
so I was in a shed just around the corner.
You was in a shed. What time of day was it?
About 1 a.m.
Was when you were at a party, weren't you?
Yeah, but we snuck off It was me and my girlfriend at the time, and I'd never done anything sexual at this point. And
So how old
the
are
right
you?
age.
15, 14, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, do you want me to give you a blowjob? And I was like, sure. Sounds fantastic. And she started, and I wasn't really paying attention because I didn't know what was going on. So I started to breathe on the window. So my face was right next to a little window.
Just
in
no
the
focus
shed.
on this poor girl.
No, and I started to draw a little stick man on the window, and I
Your
started
first
to
experience.
and I started to give him a big willy, and there was a girl sucking his willy as well, and I thought that
Awesome.
this was quite a
Ancient-
weird,
yeah.
thing. And then I'm writing it, I'm thinking, God, this has missed it up quite well. So I just smushed it out, and her dad's face was just there. Look at me. I was like, so I went, missing it right back up, and just looked back down and cracked on. We never spoke about it, to be honest.
But didn't he then like say something later in that night?
He dropped a little thing about stay out my shed, don't come back here,
Touch my windows.
I'm gonna kill you. Just the
No.
normal
That's like
things.
a dad's worst nightmare, isn't it?
I had so many awful times at that house. To be honest, the first time I went there, I walked outside, I was walking around the garden. Oh, this is lovely. Walked back in, sat down, and someone went, "Oh my God, someone's trodden shit through the lounge." I'm going, "Oh no!" You know what? Me, I'm just like, "Oh, that's terrible." Oh no, it's me, and it's that moment. Yeah, no, that was absolutely me. And they were fuming, and then I went, "Oh, right, I'm going to go to the toilet." Because I was so panicky, when you go to the toilet for a little bit of a calm down, and I went for a dump, and it wouldn't flush. And this poo's just sitting there, so I'm going, "Oh, what do you do?" So I just put the lid down and walked off.
Oh, that is savage.
And then
That's
I
savage.
opened the door,
So
and
this
the mum.
is the same.
This is the same day.
Oh,
Same day.
He just trod through shit.
Savage.
And as a way of calming down, again, just fixing
Two
himself,
separate poo
he
incidents.
left a dump.
I left a dump, a
Same.
huge dump, right? And as I open the door, the mum there goes, "Oh, thanks," and walks in.
Oh no!
I'll never forget it. And I went, and just walked off.
just
What do you do? My shit's in there. No. So I just walked off, and she came down and just smiled, and I went, "Yeah, that was my poo."
Hold on, so you didn't flush? You couldn't flush it?
It couldn't. She obviously must have figured it out or something. But I tried. Good lord, I took the lid off. I was pressing buttons. I was
Oh my god.
because I've had many instances like that. I'm quite a pooer.
Who's more awkward then?
I've-
You or Kirk? That's a hard debate now.
Yeah, I mean, everyone would instantly say me, wouldn't they? But
I think,
But
I think Kirk's
if
more
it-
naturally awkward.
yeah, you're more like verbally awkward, but Jared, you do things.
Yeah, I do bad things. Yeah, but that's not like I chose to do it. That toilet wouldn't flush. And I've had this all at work. I did it once. So I went for a poo, and it wouldn't go, and I had to get a coat hanger.
Where'd you get a coat hanger in the
Well,
toilet?
at work, there was one. Well, I came out, and I
Hold
said,
on,
so
this is pre or post wipe?
this is post wipe. I'm not coming out pre wipe.
I'm
Have some class.
I'm not a savage.
So I go back in with this coat hanger, and I'm just prodding it, and then I did it. And as I walked out again, someone's waiting to come in. I've got this pooey coat hanger. Oh, no. And it's like, oh, it was Mike Hopkins. Just sort of pivot, go put it in the bin.
Oh
I
my
don't know
God.
why this has gone on to feces. And
I mean, I had a good one in America. I
Go
told
on.
you about that.
Is
dunno.
this
I
your
don't think
you recently came back from?
Yeah, we did
States?
a road trip with my brother.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, his girlfriend Andrea. It was really good. And then when we got there, Greg had to go off to fly back to Scotland to do a job.
Oh, thank you, sir.
So I went out with shout out to Brad, one of Greg's friends in America. He's also English. But yeah, we had a really fun night. Blah blah blah. Brad let me stay at his because his friends, his housemate was away, so I stayed at his. And then woke up in the morning, pretty hungover. But I was like, yeah, that was a good night. So I went in, had a little poo, flushed, got in the shower, all washed. Get out of the shower. So I'm just sort of a bit moist and naked at this point.
How I like Kirk. That's what he says best. Moist and
I don't
naked.
know why I said that. That detail was. What was that about me being verbally awkward?
Yeah.
And then I look and I go, oh, the little chap's not quite gone. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just a second flusher. So I went, pushed it down, and instead of it sailing away, it remained in place, and the water in the toilet just began to rise. And I'm just
panic.
Yeah, and it's
Panic
rising further and further, and I'm going, like it's not going anywhere. And have you ever had those moments where everything's going well and then your life just dissolves around your eyes?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm just standing there,
Moist and
hungover,
naked.
but naked,
moist.
moist and butt naked, just watching this slowly, and then it reaches that peak and just starts overflowing onto the floor,
no.
like toilet paper, and just like, and I'm just going, I'm like,
so
I'm like going, I don't know what to do. I'm like, put my hand in it. I'm like, there's nothing I can do about it. I just had to let it, and then he just sat there, just finished flushing. It sat there right at the top like that. And I'm like getting towels, and like wringing them out in the bath.
Oh no!
And then I have to go out. And Brad sat in the living room with his girlfriend.
Like all this commotion happening.
Yeah, and I walk out and I go, hey, have you ever had a problem with that toilet getting blocked? It was like, I don't know. I was like, do you have a plunger or anything? And he was like, yeah, I think so. Is it blocked? I was like, yeah, it might be. Oh, God. And then I put the plunger in, it overflowed more.
Of course, yeah.
It was.
That's a rough scenario.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that story of that girl. I don't know if you read it on the news. It was like I think it was early this year, and she was at her boyfriend's house, and she did her business. It wouldn't go, and they tried to chuck it out the window, but get caught between the two panels. It was like one of those windows, they're like the suicide windows.
Yeah.
And you got caught between it, and there was this poo in the middle of the two window panes. And did you not read about that?
It's a real touchy one.
And I think something happened and she had to get the fire brigade there.
Now, so that's a little much for me.
The whole story
Deal with your own poo. If I'm a fireman and someone says there's a floating poo.
I was once brush cutting, like big brambles with a petrol-powered brush cutter. So all these thick brambles. But it was like, it was near a fence by some like flats. And like as I was doing, I just... like I hit something and it just I hit something and then I just felt this splat on my face and I was like, I don't know what that was. And I looked and I'd hit a dog poo bag that someone had thrown over the fence. Wow. And the contents had just hit me in the face. And then all of a sudden I looked and then all of a sudden I sort of like, it was like I'd like discovered like a murder scene. All of a sudden they were just everywhere. You could see that obviously people every single day of their lives they come down from the flat, let the dog poo on the grass, pick up the dog poo in a bag, and then throw it over the fence. And there were literally hundreds of them.
So it's like a water balloon of dog poo.
Yes.
How many bags did you go through?
Well, I don't know. One. I think just one. One good one.
Fresh.
Jeez, man.
So yeah, that was good.
That's
a good day.
I bet you grew up that day.
Yeah, I was like, I am now a man.
The house with that? How'd you come back in the house? You're like, because that's the moments that I live for. Is that like after you've done something, you just come in with this like, so
today, let me talk you through it.
Did you know there's poo in the back?
Have you got any AK moments, hey Dad?
I probably suppressed them enough that I can't remember them. Someone would have to be like, "Oh, do you remember that time?"
Yeah.
I can't think of any that come to date.
Just have some more from Jared, shall we?
I kind of want to hear about this story a bit.
We've got more.
We'll break it up a little bit. You just came back from Czech Republic.
Oh yeah.
Why did you go there?
Yeah.
I messaged you and I'm like, "Hey man, you still up for the podcast this Sunday?" And you're like, "I'm currently in Czech Republic enjoying a fine cigar." I was like,
yeah,
that sounds great.
So
not even questioning it.
Yeah. So Mum and Paul were talking about getting a new puppy. And basically they found one. So Mum just came over to me and said, do you fancy flying to the Czech Republic to look at a puppy?
That's like in the radio. You know when you go on those websites, it's like, how far do you want to go? Like 60 miles, 100 miles.
Like set Tinder. Puppy Tinder.
You just had it on like Europe.
The whole of Europe.
Yeah.
But the weirdest bit about it was that you just went, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
In true Kirk fashion.
I'm free.
Yeah, I did ask remarkably few questions.
That's a good way to be. I like that.
But yeah, it was a laugh. So I got there on the Thursday. And then, I was going to the puppy people's house the next day.
Puppy people.
So I stayed in a hotel just in the city that I can't pronounce. That was near the airport. And then we had a nice meal on my own. Then went to a bar and it said, cigar club. So I went and bought a nice cigar, had a little drink.
As you do.
Started chatting to a lady there who wanted to work on her English. So we chatted for a while. And then I was like, where's like good to go now for draft beer? Because there wasn't any there. She went, I could show you this sort of secret, but not so secret, everyone knows about it place. I was like, okay. Like, no.
Everyone knows about it place.
But then, there are these because for a year you're not allowed to smoke in public places there. And they put that into action a year ago. But there's odd places that are kind of like private bars. So you had to like rock up and do like a secret squirrel knock on the door, and then they let you in.
What was the knock?
Yeah.
Can you remember the
Can you let me in?
Yeah.
Just in case I go. Thank you. Carry on.
And they said, enter. And then we just went in there and everyone was smoking, and then had some beer, talked about Czechoslovakian history and politics, and then they got out they said, do you want to try traditional absinthe? And I was like, do I ever? So they got out. Yeah, very difficult to describe. It's very elaborate. Well, you have they had 4 glasses, and then it's like a big, like glass chalice thing with iced water in it, and then there are 4 taps either side, and then you put this like weird metal spoon on top of the glass with an ice cube, and then slowly drip the water onto the ice cube until the ice cube melts, and then it's ready to drink.
Right.
And as we were sitting there watching the water hit the ice cube, the guy next to me just turned to me and went, "Traditional absinthe. It's a drink for patient people." And then he went, "We also call it the silent killer." I was
like traditional absinthe, you'll
superb.
get blind.
And and then I drank it, and then I had to leave for some fresh air about 5 minutes afterwards.
Tactically.
Yeah.
Magical.
Yeah.
You made something of it. See, if I went there, I would have thought, if I go out in public, something bad's going to happen to me.
Yeah,
so I'll stay indoors. Whereas Kurt goes chasing it.
Guess that is the difference.
So how was the puppy experience?
Yeah, really good.
You've got quite a specific breed you're looking at.
Yeah, Braque de Verne, French pointer. But yeah, they're not very common in the UK. But yeah, I don't really know how it ended up being the Czech Republic. I think it was partly just they were ready at the right time. It's also a different bloodline. A lot of the ones in England now are from similar parents. But it was really cool, and they let me, like the people who bred them, let me stay in their house, and they like cooked me like traditional
awesome.
food and dinner, and showed me the local sites. And
Let you sleep with their daughter.
Yeah.
Is it a boy? is it a boy pointer?
No, girl.
Oh, because you could have bred your own pointers.
Yeah, could have done. But
imagine a male beaver. That's just trouble.
Oh, that's just vicious.
That's problems. Just fucking everything.
But yeah, so I just sort of played. Played with puppies for 2 days and ate sausage.
You live a strange life.
That sounds great. If you went, Jared, you'd probably get mugged or something.
Something would happen. The puppy would maul me to death. You know, just something would happen. That sounds quite,
You'd bring in some like mad disease that no one's ever had, some ancient disease that it kills something.
Yeah, branditis or something would
Branditis.
plague Czech Republic for years to come.
Would you like to see the absinthe chalice?
Yeah.
Go on. I can't believe you waited around for it. I would have been
How
like,
long is the
"Fuck
wait?
that."
Is it like, you talking 5 minutes? You talking like 15 minutes?
What for it? The ice cube?
Yeah. Ready.
Because if so, the water's hitting the ice cube,
Melting it to make it pure.
Yeah. How much water do you need? Like what flow speed or whatever?
4 taps, he said.
Yeah. So
That guy also looks like the most Czech Republican
yeah.
man ever. Was that him? Was that the guy?
There was a group of people.
Oh really?
Oh wow! You need one of those.
Yeah.
I can see you buying this.
Yeah, I was looking at it thinking I need one of them, and then I was like, no, Kirk.
That looks amazing.
But then
I'm
you were like,
trying
yes,
to be minimalist these days. But yeah. Oh yeah, and then I ordered food, but I didn't really know what I'd ordered, and it was all raw meat that I had to cook on a hot plate,
Oh, that's cool.
which was nice. But I was like, I really hope the chef would cook it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I got to cook this now.
Yeah, I was like, oh damn it. But yeah, that was different.
It's a good experience though. So you've been.
Do you do any spontaneous trips?
I'm going to Barcelona tomorrow with my dad.
That's true.
I went to Germany with your dad.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the occasional
What
spontaneous
was it like
trip.
spending a night with Paul?
It was magical.
I think, yeah, we did touch upon that with your papa.
Yeah, no,
just
I-
keep bringing it up.
He gave me quite an elaborate.
Let's get him out.
Yeah, Dad didn't seem keen to talk about his son spending too much time with you. But no, it was a magical night. Am I upset that he hasn't called me since? Yes. Was I a little bit hurt upon walking in and him not giving me a kiss on the cheek? Yes. Is that how we left it after our night together? Yes. But no, it was lovely.
Oh, that's
Good
like,
spooner.
like a fairy tale.
He's a good little spoon.
Yeah, 'cause you're taller than him.
Yeah, no, I love a spontaneous trip. There's nothing like it. When someone says, "Do you want to go here?" If I can do it, bang, I'm in.
I've kind of like I do want to see more because I've done quite a lot of trips around around Europe, and I feel like I want to see more of England. 'Cause you always forget what's in your back door.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever like. What was it? I go. You know those rabbit holes you get into late at night. It was like 3 in the morning, and for some reason I got into watching a video on YouTube about the last operational tiger tank. For some reason.
That's a real rabbit hole.
Yeah, it was like 3:30.
Yeah, you went deep.
And it was just like I was looking at, like tiger tanks, and then I was like, where can I go see that? And there's a place in Plymouth. There's a museum, tank museum.
Oh wow.
I was like, I want to go there.
I'm
So
busy
that's on
that
my-
day.
Yeah, whatever day you choose, I'm busy.
I'm washing my hair. Sorry.
But I do like Plymouth.
I'm watching the shit off my shoes.
Yeah. All right, maybe I'll come.
I was like, yeah.
You haven't even been invited yet.
It's an open invitation. It's an open invitation. Anyone can come.
Like,
I want to see more. Do want to see more museums though.
Where's the best place you've been to see?
Where I was most excited was probably the States.
Whereabouts?
My first time, I was in New York for a few weeks. Then I was in Cleveland, Chicago, Virginia, Pittsburgh. I did like kind of like a little loop because I had a few friends there. So I just went there for like the maximum amount of time that you can go on a visa. It's like 3 months. So I just like hopped around. And now I was stoked. I was super stoked for that because I always had that like romanticized idea of going to the States. You always think like those movies and everything. And I went there and I was like, actually, London's really cool as well.
Let's go back.
Yeah, I was like, because I was in New York and I was thinking like, oh, I love these little parks and I love this little coffee shops. And I'm like, London has all of this.
Just a bit colder.
Yeah, just a bit colder. But it's like, actually, London's awesome. It wasn't until the end I was like, actually, London's a fucking sick place to be. But the second time when I was in LA, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Because that was like completely different vibe.
Yeah.
That's like, New York's just like another London, where LA is like super different. Way more relaxed, way more cool. Cool if you've got money. If you've got no money, it's nightmare. Because when I was in New York, when I came to like the last 2 weeks I was there, I was broke as fuck. I had like no money because my it was like 2 weeks and I put my card in ATM and there's like insufficient funds and I was like, that's not good. I'm like, I've got 2 weeks left here. I called my mum and I was like, hey, like I've got no money. And she said, well, look, we can get you a flight back home if you want, you know, and then that's not a problem. And I just kind of went on the counter and be like, well, if you give me the money that would cost to get the flight, I can hang out here a bit longer.
Bold.
Yeah, and it was basically like £100. But I lasted that for 2 weeks. And basically what I did was I managed to find a scale, like in my friend's apartment, and my suitcase was way over. And I was like, shit, because if you're way over, they charge you $60, and I only had $100. So I was thinking, all right, I always kept $60 in my wallet, like in this little zip thing, little compartment. I was like, right, I've got that. So when I go back, I won't have any issues. So I had $40 to last me 2 weeks. So basically what I did was, and at that point, I kind of seen what I wanted to see, and all my friends went back to their uni, and I was basically bowling around New York for a couple of weeks. And I went to Subway every morning, grabbed a $5 footlong, had half in the morning and half in the evening, and then went to Starbucks and get the free water.
Nice.
So I literally had $5 for the day. I just bowl around, just walk all the way from, because the place was at Greenpoint, but I got into like Manhattan, started there, went all the way up to Central Park, and then walked all the way to the bottom. Now just kill the day. I did that for 2 weeks.
It's not a bad place to do it.
But the beauty was that when I got to the airport and I went, the lady was like, and it was so obvious I was so over. It was like 6 kilos over. I'm just like, here you go, have a good flight. And I was like,
you bitch.
I've got $60. Yeah. I went straight to Burger King. Just tried a burger. And I got like a little souvenir for my brother.
That must have been the most satisfying burger.
Oh my God,
when
dude.
you're not expecting one and then it turns up.
It was like 20-something dollars, and I was like, man, I got $60. Like, felt like a king.
Splashing. That's so good. I love that.
What we're talking about, America and Jared's sex stories. Tell us about when that night your girlfriend broke up with you and you're in America.
Oh, that's not nice, is it?
No, we won't. We best not.
Okay.
No, I have got one good American.
Do you want me to go back to the
story.
notes system?
Yeah, no, we'll leave that alone. I've got one good American story.
Okay, go on.
This was when I was single, and I was so stupid, like so naive. And there was this girl she was quite hot, she was alright, and she was like, I really need help with my maths. And I was, I'm alright at maths, so I was like, yeah, okay, no problem. And I'm going to, help her with her maths. And we go there, we, do some homework and stuff for about an hour. It's quite late though. And it gets to like 10:30, and I'd told her what to do, and she was just like writing it out. So I was lying on her bed because we're in a dorm room.
Oh, this is like a uni.
Yeah. This is I'm at uni in the States at the time. Sorry. And so I like doze off, and I'm just like that. And I wake up and I was like, "How you getting on?" And I open my eyes. She's just completely naked.
Nice.
Completely naked. Oh, I wasn't single. No, I was in a relationship at the time, right? So she's completely naked. Well, no, because I'm a loyal guy. So I. It's now about 1 a.m. I'd slept for like 3 hours, which I didn't realise, and she didn't want to wake me up. She was completely naked, ready to go.
So she could have been there for 2 hours.
She's just been hyped up for 3 hours.
She's ready to go. She was like, it's time. And I got up, shat myself, ran out the room, and
Did you say anything?
I didn't say a word.
You just left.
I ran all the way across campus. And just got back to my room and went to bed, and then saw her the next day and just never spoke about it again.
That's savage.
You didn't go.
That's brutal.
You didn't go, your girlfriend, and then ran. You just
No,
ran.
you just
I just ran. I think I went,
just
gone.
Yeah.
See ya.
gazelle.
Yeah.
Out of there.
Because I did want to bring this up. I didn't know you was in the States. You lived in the States.
I lived in the
What
States
was
for
that?
a year.
What did you do?
I went there on a football scholarship.
Sick. So you were like a legit football player.
I was, yeah.
Wow.
I got injured and had to come home. But yeah, for a year I was living the dream, playing football, playing footy. But I had a girlfriend back here the whole time, so it was shit.
Yeah. First time in America, proper British accent.
You get a lot of
a lot of attention.
You get a lot of attention, and we had spring break as well that I did. That was.
So what got you into football?
My dad. That's all I've known since I could walk. I was kicking a ball. Yeah, I went to my first Tottenham game in 1999, I think, when we drew 1-1 with Southampton. You're welcome.
Wow.
And yeah, so
you remember that.
I love it if you're wrong. You're like, actually, no, that wasn't wrong.
No, I've checked it recently. Me and Dad had a look to see which game it was. No, I just don't even. I don't, because I'm football mad, as you both know, and I can just name anything about football. And
All
it's
right, we got to challenge this.
I don't even know what questions to ask.
Who was the MVP 5 years ago?
So what's the date? This 2013.
Most valuable
minimum viable product.
No, most valuable.
2013. It's called the Ballon d'Or as well.
The Ballon d'Or. This is something you should know. You know these kind of terms.
Yeah, I think
Ballon d'Or.
I think it was Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi.
See, I would Google that, but I can't be bothered.
Yeah,
I'm going to take your word for it.
Don't worry about it.
Most valuable player, by the way. I think they use it in like American sports.
What's
the waist to hip ratio of David Seaman?
You love David Seaman, don't you?
What's the average corners in a Tottenham game?
Probably around 7. I don't know though, but just going from like betting odds, they always say like 8+ or 8-, so probably like 7, 8, something like that.
Nice.
It's a nice guess, but no.
So how did you get by? Like, so you're playing football.
Yeah.
Did you get scouted or anything? Did someone see you?
So I finished at Southend High, did sixth form, and then I went and did a trial that's filmed and sent out to the American coaches.
That's amazing.
And there was one there, and he just said he spoke to my dad.
Get that 6-foot gazer over.
Yeah, he just there and then was like, "I'll give you a full ride if you come on." That means
I didn't say anything.
a full scholarship offer.
He's like, you just got to do a few things in this closed room.
Yeah, and I said, "Dad, go on, mate."
Black couch.
Yeah, you don't wash it like that. Give it here.
Where were you staying? Where were you doing your scholarship?
I was in Ohio.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't that nice, to be honest. It was. I went there when it was cold, and it was like -10,
it was cold.
really cold. And then like the week after, it was like 30 degrees heat, and I had no shorts, nothing. So I'm just walking around sweating my balls off. But yeah, it was cool. I was a jock for for a year. I hung out with all the NFL players. Well,
LeBron
not NFL,
James,
but yeah, I met LeBron. We kicked it. You know, it was all good. But Americans are crazy. They are, because obviously Ohio. You've been New York, LA.
I was in Cleveland as well.
Were you? Yeah.
I don't know why I missed that out. I was there for like the longest time.
Even Cleveland is like, you know, like star-studded to people that were where I was. I was in like a tiny little town, and I was getting my hair cut one day, and she said, "Oh, where are you from?" And I said, "Oh, I'm from England." And she went, "Oh, that's in Italy." No. No, not quite. So yeah, there were
Geography isn't their strong point, I have to admit.
I don't think ambition is either. She didn't have a passport, had never left Ohio.
Yeah, but I think if you like live in, because I know a lot of people in the States that don't have passports because they just stick in the States, don't they?
Because I can understand it in a way, but also, yeah, surely they are interested or curious as to what else is out there. You know.
I think they do, but like at older ages.
Yeah,
because I got a few friends of mine. Their parents are like in their 50s, and now they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go travel Europe." And it's
Right.
like,
Also,
"Oh,
they get so little holiday time.
Do they?
Get
oh yeah, that's true."
Americans get like 2 weeks off for the whole year.
Yeah,
It's
pretty savage.
nuts.
Kidding me.
So to go travelling, you almost have to take a year off. So that
God.
really doesn't help. But then
Yeah.
to get anywhere out of, you've only got 2 weeks holiday, and you've got to fly somewhere out of America.
Like a buddy of mine,
can
he
kinda
just
see
came.
why.
He came to visit, and he only had a week. And I was like, "Dude, you got to be in London for like more than a week."
Yeah, it's nuts, and that's half his whole.
Yeah, he's like,
holiday
"Well, we're
year.
going to Italy for like 3 days," and I'm like, oh.
I just
Damn, dude.
couldn't deal with that.
I'm like, and that's kind of why I like being my own boss. I'm like, I'll just take 3 months off.
Yeah, honestly,
Flying,
I couldn't. 2 weeks. I would leave the country straight up.
Yeah, it's
I
mad,
would.
isn't it?
I couldn't deal with that. That's horrible.
It's been an hour, boys.
Yeah,
Has it?
On that high note.
Yeah, I think we plumbed the depth of human emotion there.
Yeah.
We talked about poo a lot.
No stone unturned. Yeah, probably accurate. But I think we can be proud of ourselves today.
I think we've
I
achieved
think
greatness.
we can sign out. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us
You're welcome.
today, Jared.
Thank you, Jared.
Been great to
And,
be here.
yeah, signing out. Farewell.
Farewell.